Welcome to the first ever Conan Exiles.
Well, it's still sending data. I don't know if it's actually. It's still sending data. I'm sure everyone in the office is just like, oh my God, what is going on, Andy? Why do you do this to us? I'm just so good at this.
Are we back?
Are we back?
We're back. We did it. Look, there we are.
Live stream was on. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Hey,
just keeping
welcome to the first Conan Exiles Age of Sorcery Chapter 2 stream.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah, again, in keeping the tradition with FunCom, streams and announcements. Yeah, thank you all for joining us for this lovely announcement of an announcement. Thank you all for joining us today. We'll see you next time for another announcement. Anyway, sorry. Okay, this is better? Yes. This is perfect? Yes, back and perfect.
Easy.
Let's go.
Literally no idea how that happened.
Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, I'm dumb. I'm sorry. I'm just dumb. YouTube is still giving us problems, but whatever. Anyway. Yeah, you want to see some stuff that's coming up in Chapter 2?
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
What?
Good segue.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, this is great. We're playing it fast and loose today, baby. Let's go. All right, we're switching over here. So yeah, this is in-game footage of Chapter 2 donning a brand new armor set. This is why I got mixed up, because this is actually an armor set that was... it doesn't seem to be... I don't think it's 100% port, but it's definitely inspired by an armor set from Age of Conan, our legacy MMO.
Yeah, nothing we ever do is actually 100% port. You know, Age of Conan has a lot older engine at this point, and there are different requirements for things that go into that game. So when we want to bring something over, we really have to remake it using the base as a template. So yeah, this was in the Age of Conan Onslaught event. This was the Thugro Khatan armor, and in the second age, in the Age of Sorcery in Conan Exiles, it'll be the I believe it's the Mad God armor. Just double check the name. Yep, the Helm of the Mad Prophet. That's what it is. Sorry. And also, let me go ahead and make it daytime so we can actually see stuff.
Yeah, it's very dark suddenly. And so this is one of the rewards you get for the new story event.
That's right.
With the next chapter.
Yeah. So, like I said before, whenever we kicked off the Age of Sorcery, we want to start to make each of our chapters more about a story going forward, so you guys have some new stuff to follow along. You know. We aim to actually change things in the world as the story goes along as well. So I think that in the first age, you'll see that to a much lesser extent, but as we go further and deeper and learn more what we're capable of with our timeline and everything, you'll start to see more stuff change in the game itself. So throwing back to chapter 1, excuse me. In chapter 1, we had a new sorcerer appear in the exiled lands, and he started to spread the knowledge of how to perform sorcery, to his own followers, who then took it out into the world. And you know, you can now find sorcerers in all the different camps teaching the people that, hey, there is this magic, you should follow us, follow our leader. So now some of you might know there are some other sorcerers in the world. If you're keen on the story, you might remember Metcamosis. Metcamosis was previously a leader among the Black Ring, which is in Stygia, one of the most powerful cabals of sorcerers that exist. Tathamon wanted to join this cabal, and Metcamosis, essentially afraid of his power, banished him from the Black Ring, said he can't join. Tathamon disappeared, and somewhere in the world he found the Serpent Ring of Set, which is now a really big part of the power that he holds. He was already a powerful sorcerer. Now he comes back and he has this powerful artifact. He gets rid of Metcamosis. He says, "You're banished to the exiled lands. Come again. You know, we'll see you later, buddy." So now Metcamosis sees the magic being performed, and he was once a very powerful sorcerer. He was known for summoning just gargantuan demons into the world and forcing them to do his bidding. So now he wants a taste of that power. And in the second chapter, we'll have you hunting the heads of sorcerers, bringing them back to his followers, who are these Conan exiled assassins, essentially. And you'll be bringing heads and bodies back.
So he can like try to examine like just what makes them tick, because like
yeah, precisely.
Yeah, he had that power and now he doesn't have it, because like the form of sorcery that's in the exiled lands is not for whatever reason, he can't harness that same power despite him being able to use sorcery before he ended up here.
Yeah, traditionally in the Exiled Lands, magic is suppressed by the Giant King Bracer. For some reason, unbeknownst to us, others are able to perform sorcery now. He would like to be among those people that can perform sorcery, and he'd like to get out of here. So, yeah, to that end, he has these followers in the world now who you can come up with, speak with, and they'll tell you a bit of the story behind it. They'll maybe, you know, give you some rewards for what you do in the world, and you can spend those here.
Yeah, so there. So with the update, there will be, I think, multiple headhunting camps. I believe, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Actually, I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but in both Exiled Lands and SIPTA, there will be multiple camps that are similar to this one that you can find. That just house Conan Exiles. There's cages to return living sorcerers that you knock out and bring back, and there's an altar here that you can place the heads upon. So once you kill them, you'll take their skull, put it on the altar, and they'll give you a bit of a reward back for that.
So yes, you'll be tasked with bringing back sorcerer skulls or unconscious bodies.
Yep, and
So dead or alive.
exactly, and the bodies are worth more than the skulls. So you can bring back a lot of skulls really easy. If you bring back a body, a bigger reward. And then beyond that, we've got an integration into the new event. I'm trying to rebrand these as encounters, so it's a little less confusing. But there are new encounters in the world that is called Witch Hunt, and they basically have a very powerful sorcerer in the center of them, who are typically surrounded by, a themed magical barrier. So we have one that's surrounded by these really cool briars, and whenever you destroy the briars, they kind of recede and peel back into the ground and have these really creaky wood noises. But anyway, you kill one of those guys, you get their skull. It's the skull of a powerful magi. You bring it back, and it's worth the most because it is the least available of any of the things, and is coming from a very powerful sorcerer. Whenever you turn those things in, you'll get a new currency that we've added, and this currency is going to be reused throughout several chapters. Anytime we do a new chapter update, we're going to wipe any of the currency that you have and restart from scratch in terms of the rewards that you have, so you can buy things from the new vendors. So the currency is called Ancient Obelisk, and whenever you turn in skulls or bodies here, you'll get some of that Ancient Obelisk. Then you can come speak to the vendors, and you can buy certain things from them for that Ancient Obelisk. So this guy is currently selling a weapon.
And then this currency, the Ancient Obelisk, is entirely separate from Crown Coins. This is purely in-game,
Yeah, it's not a paid currency.
Yes, yes. So you only get Ancient Obelisk by turning in heads or bodies of sorcerers, and it's like a season-specific kind of thing, right? Yeah.
This time around, it comes from this activity. So really, we're going to be making new rewards and hopefully offering you.
They're not Crown Coins. Completely disconnected from Crown Coins. No relationship.
They're called Ancient Obelisks.
Yes.
And each chapter, when we do an update, we'll get rid of all of them, and we'll give you a new activity that lets you earn them in a different way to get some new rewards.
Yeah, Ancient Obelisk specifically. Yeah, so at the end of each chapter, you said Ancient Obelisk will be reset. And then whatever new thing you do will earn you more. So again, decoupled from Crown Coins. We're not going to wipe the Crown Coins or anything like that.
Yeah. So one of the things that you'll be able to buy with the Ancient Obelisk in this update is the Mad Prophet armor. We're still kind of finalizing exactly what things will cost and how long it will take to get every specific thing, or how many activities you have to do or whatever. But as usual, if you're a server admin, this isn't account items or anything. These are just standard items you would unlock in the game. So if you're an admin, you could just spawn these. You could just give yourself a bunch of obelisks, whatever, if you want to see it. Or
if you really wanted to, yeah.
Or one of my favorite use of the Ancient Obelisk is to purchase thralls.
Oh yeah, you can purchase high-end converted thralls, right?
Yeah, they will be tier 4 named thralls. They're just automatically converted, and you get them in your inventory.
Sweet.
This is an in development build, so some of the stuff you see here, this isn't going to be the final.
Yeah, we're on
you purchase. There will be a different item there that you buy. Also, this PC doesn't have audio, right? Does it have audio sent to the stream?
Yes.
I don't know if I should push the button or not for how long it'll go. However, we're also starting to integrate more voice acting in the game as well. So the two Catan's traders here, the exiled captain, who will tell you what's happening in the world, and the trader, both have some really good VO tied with them. That
Nice.
I was really excited to get done.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. You were super pumped. You're like, I got a recording session with this guy. It's like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, now that it's on Test Live, and I feel like it's fine for me to talk about it. But when we were going through looking for people that we could cast, I've mentioned it before, but I'm a really big Mortal Kombat fan, and we got to do a voice acting session with the person that voices Liu Kang in MK11. So the Catan characters sound really cool.
That's rad.
Log on the Test Live.
Yeah, you can just check it out right now. If you wanted to.
I would play it on stream, but I think the first chunks in them are very long, so we would just hear talking for a long period of time.
So we're just like looking at chat stuff right now.
Yeah.
So that's what's to expect with the headhunting like event, and then the witch hunts are just kind of like they're rolled into like the whole encounter system that we added with the original Age of Sorcery update, right?
Yeah. So all of we previously called them events, but there's been some confusion between what an event is and what we would call like a larger event if we wanted to do like something seasonal or something, right? So in order to cut that confusion apart, instead of calling them events, I'm just calling them encounters. You might hear me call them random encounters. But this would be something like Portals to Yuggoth or Snake Cult Caravan. Those are encounters. And the Witch Hunt event is something in that vein. So, like I said before, you'll show up, you'll see some monsters or something magical protecting a very powerful sorcerer, and you defeat their minions, break down their barriers, and take their skull.
Yeah, right now what we have on screen, or what we should have on screen right now, is a short preview video of like what some of the witch hunt encounters look like. So they're themed based on like, I guess, I don't want to say elements, but like, yeah, they're just themed. So like you'll have one that's like the demonic worshippers, one that's like necromancy, and one's like
it's domains of magic. Each of the sorcerers in the witch hunt event are sort of like lieutenants to Karak. If you guys remember, Karak is the person that's appeared in the exiled lands and brought magic to everybody. So these are his most powerful followers.
And then these encounters, do we, I forget if they've changed, but are they going to be like consistent additions to the game? Like, will they remain even after like chapter 2 ends?
Yeah. So pretty much with all the events that we add, unless there's something that's really contextual that doesn't make sense to carry on, we just intend to add them to the pool of random encounters that can occur. So even after chapter 2 is gone, even after the Age of Sorcery is gone, there will still be sorcerers in the world that you can find and kill.
People love this helmet.
It's really cool, right? Yeah.
We'll get a
will the Catan camps to like collect heads and bodies still be up after chapter 2? Is this specifically exclusively for chapter 2?
Right now, we plan for this to just be part of chapter 2. Some things will make sense to keep as a permanent fixture, but this is one that's part of the storytelling, part of the narrative that's going forward. So, as we move beyond this point in time, it won't make sense for them to be there, and you guys will eventually see where that leads to.
There's more reasons.
Yes. What Andy said.
The dreaded L word. We love it.
Oh, yeah, I super love it. I've been getting a lot more involved with it as of late, and it has been a blast.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of like writing stuff for.
Yep, planning out.
Yeah.
You guys will see there's a kind of stark change in the battle pass text in this version, where it is more a story being told directly to you instead of something a bit more rhetorical. And I intend to carry that out through the preceding seasons, and I'm actually working with the story that we're telling in game now, so I think it's going to be
exciting. Yeah, you've assumed direct control, and you're like,
yeah, pretty much.
It's mine. I'm excited to see what kind of weird shit you throw at us.
Yeah. I know you guys are just seeing chapter 2 now, but chapter 3 is going to be nuts.
Oh yeah, we have all sorts of stuff like written out. Oh, and then sorry, and I did see someone write in chat also. These headhunting camps will also be available on Isle of Sipta, not just Exiled Lands, and they'll be in multiple locations. So it's like there won't be just like a single camp.
Yeah.
'Cause that would cause issues
for sure.
probably, especially on like PvP servers.
This particular one is just the one I always come to test because it's at my camp.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, so another question that I did actually see pop up in chat. For the locations for the Catan camps, like, what will happen to like bases or buildings that might be nearby those? Or did we pick spots for the camps that are deliberately like away from like buildable areas?
Yeah, like the previous content we've put in, we just put it in no build areas specifically, so you don't have to worry about your base being there. I think that going forward into the future too, probably starting with chapter 3, we're going to start doing something where we kind of shotgun blast the content in the map. So we can put it in places where people have built or have not built, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a no build area. It'll just be wherever it can find a place to spawn. So if you have a base somewhere and we put content there, it just won't show up there. It'll show up somewhere else.
Oh, okay. I was really hoping you were going to say like you log in and then suddenly there's just
No, I'm not going to destroy your life. Not this way.
That would feel bad. That would feel very yes, thank you. That would feel really bad, but also that would be extremely funny.
It wouldn't be funny. Loss is terrible.
It is. No, it's true. It's true.
I have a quick question on the events.
Yeah.
Someone was asking if they can be disabled or deactivated or modded. Any of that?
They can't be modded. Whenever we created the
You have to
system,
repeat the question. I don't know if they can hear me.
Oh yeah. So sorry. Yeah. The question was, will the upcoming encounters and the event in general be like moddable or like modifiable or like disableable? Or like
to be disabled.
Yeah. Can parameters be changed like on the admin side for like a private server?
Yeah, so by large, we do have a server setting that lets you just turn off all of the events or encounters, and this will be the same thing. So you turn off this encounter, you turn off all encounters. Outside of that, we don't currently have the ability for people to mod these events. It's a security reason. I would love, just like everything we do, I would love to give everyone just full run of it and be able to do whatever they want. But if we give you access to some things, then you get access to other things that you shouldn't have access to. So this is one of the endpoints where we had to cut off and say, unfortunately, you guys cannot create your own events with our event system. Although I will say this, I made the event system, the actual skeleton of the event system itself, or as it's now called, the encounter system. It's not that difficult. So if you guys are modders and you look into it, I'm sure you can figure it out really quickly yourselves. I know that like in Savage Wilds, for example, they're working on their own events in the map as well that follow a similar structure to what we do.
Ooh.
Technically, I think actually they maybe released theirs a little bit before ours, but they were in development simultaneously.
Yes. Oh, and then actually, I'm sure this is all kind of on that topic, mod dev kit.
Oh yeah, mod dev kit. So obviously Test Live is out today. We initially wanted to have mod dev kit out today with Test Live as well, but right now we believe mod dev kit will be shipped on the 15th, which is 1 week from today. And then if you guys are following our timelines and projections, it should allow around 3 weeks to be able to update any mods that you have.
Yep. Yes, Nicole.
Someone had asked if the new coins, what are they called?
Ancient obelisks.
Ancient obelisks.
Are they going to be accessible in the dev kit?
They should be a base game item, yeah. So just like the armor itself, it's not monetized in any way. It's just a new item in the game, so you should be able to get them yourselves.
Sweet. Yeah, because I know that was it's a good thing to cover because we had some issues the last time with the mod dev kit.
Yeah, and like I said, that's just our projection. Like right now, we don't have any reason to believe it will be any later than the 15th. It may. And apologies if it does. We try our best.
Yeah, like sometimes unavoidable or unforeseen walls or hurdles pop up, and
it's a whole separate
you
product.
never know. Yeah,
It's like we're updating the game in one hand and updating the dev kit in another. So
what are you having a giggle back there?
It looks like you're having. Someone said why is Andy abandoned on fire? Because it looks like you're currently on fire.
This is fine. I'm always on fire, baby.
Yeah, that's a secret.
That's my secret. Everything's always on fire around me.
Also, I apparently they can hear me, but I am collecting questions from the chat that if we have a quick Q&A at the end, then I'll ask.
Okay.
Because I don't want to interrupt you guys and you guys are talking about something and then come ask something completely different.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know if chat could hear Nicole very clearly, but chat does appear to be able to hear her just fine. So not too worried. But if you do want us to like repeat a question or something like that, let us know, please. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
We were talking about events / encounters.
Yeah, and mod kit stuff. Oh yeah, so the event or the encounters themselves won't be in the mod kit. Mod kit will be coming out. The goal is next week, next Tuesday, the 15th. I think that should cover that. Oh, and then chapter 2 itself. The aim is to have that out December 6th.
Yep. So, like I said before, we have like a 90, probably, I think 91 days is the time between our releases. We're trying to stick to it as much as we can. There's a lot of reasons to stick to it. Consistency is important, is one of the biggest ones, right? Like if you guys know something's coming, you can plan for it to be out and you're more likely to, participate with it, see the new stuff. Yeah, it's really as straightforward as that. We're working in 91-day cycles and we hope to hit our targets every time.
Yeah, and I think, do we have a time remaining counter with the test live update or anything?
Actually, I was going to check that. There used to be a timer here in the battle pass that said how many days were left. I don't know if that's on live right now. I can't remember. I think that we did fix it for chapter 2, but obviously what you guys are seeing here is actually the chapter 1 battle pass. So some stuff in the build, we're on an internal dev build right now, and it doesn't have all of the stuff that you'll see.
Yeah, we have separate backends that don't always talk to each other, and so we kind of had to finagle some stuff to get this to work with our dev account, and not everything is showing right now.
Eventually, there will be a little timer up here that says how many days are remaining in the chapter.
Okay, sweet. All right, Wax says there's no counter on the live version. Yeah, but we do intend to have a counter because that's important.
Yep, and it lets you know how much time you have left.
Okay, well, we will look into that then. Make sure that there is a timer on there. Okay. Thank you for that. So, of course, this is not the only thing that's going to be included in Chapter 2. I know several people in chat also were asking for what other kinds of things we can expect to have included. So we will cover some of that real quick. So we looked at the witch hunts. We can look at that again. We can take a quick look at some of the other headhunting camps. This is just an example of one that you can find in Isle of Sipta. They just kind of they'll all have a similar look. So they'll be kind of this towering caravan with cages, and there'll always be a brazier, a sacrificial brazier that you can stick heads in. If there's more, the skulls eventually pile up and show up in the brazier, or is that a thing that's just?
Yeah, I can spawn a bunch of them if you want to.
Yeah, well, why not? Yeah. I'm just letting a video play through also just to show what one of the costumes looks like.
I accidentally called them braziers.
Brazier. Very good.
Yeah, so you guys will see this later too, but as you get skulls and add them to the bench, you'll get some rewards and you'll get a bunch of obelisks and everything, and you can stack up a bunch of skulls. When we were in development, I was like, I need more skulls. They made a thing and it had 6 skulls on it, and I was like, okay, more skulls, more. And I just kept asking for more and more skulls till we got this really giant pile of them.
Did we ever get a guess for how many skulls were in that pile on social media?
Oh, that's right. That's a good question. I've got to look.
Actually, yeah, out of curiosity, do you know the maximum number of skulls that this thing can display?
Yeah.
I'm actually super curious, how many are actually showing up there.
I don't know the number myself. I did get an update on the counter for the battle pass. The counter can be added after we announce the release date. So after this stream, we should be able to add the timer anytime to show how much time is left.
Oh, cool. Great. Good.
Yeah, the rewards may be subject to change as well, too. We're still kind of feeling the rewards out specifically as well. But that is an idea of the kind of stuff that you'll see. We have to think of stuff that has value and things that it's not just super easy for you to farm on your own. So we want to give some stuff that incentivizes you to actually want to participate in the activity, or make it feel like you didn't lose time because you went to do something else, right? Like, I can't farm alchemical base because I want to go do this event and get the armor. Well, you did the event, here's some alchemical base for your time, basically.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because like there's already like plenty of like there's a lot of things to do in the game already, especially in terms of like upkeep and like upgrading your stuff. So like yeah, more parallel lines of like things to do can definitely cut into your
Anecdotally,
task list.
Like internally in playtests, we realized that like a lot of the time you'll spend a day of playtesting just preparing to do something for another activity. So through the activities that we add, we want to not make the game take even longer for you in that way.
Yeah, we don't want like chores that you just have to do all day. Yes, Nicole.
Make sure to repeat my question, but can we do the witch hunt if we are sorcerers ourselves?
You can.
So yeah, the question was, are we able to do the witch hunt encounters even if we are sorcerers or corrupted ourselves? Why not? I will ask.
That's an important thing to know, probably.
I'm pretty sure it was actually talked about and I just missed the thing. So I'm going to scroll through some chat really quick and we can keep talking about other stuff.
Yeah. Well, while you do that, I want to show you guys something really cool that we added in the Battle Pass. And this is also a little bit of a work in progress still too, because we're expanding it to encompass more than it currently does. But for a lot of things like emotes, we've added a little paper doll over here so you can actually see the emote in action before you unlock it. This will be available in the bazaar too, so you'll have more of an idea of what you're buying when you buy something. You can also rotate this around, so you can look at it from different angles. It shows the armor and stuff that's on your character now. So if you're looking at a different armor piece, it'll like swap out the one that you're looking at. And this also works currently for armor sets. So now you can see a full armor set. I think that when this ships for Chapter 2, we'll probably be able to see war paints. If you don't see it in Chapter 2, you'll see it shortly after because that's like the next thing on our list. But ultimately, we want to be able to show all the stuff that you can buy in a more engaging way to make it just cooler to look at.
Well, yeah, and it's just like good, like you said, also like generally speaking, it's good to know what you're getting.
Definitely.
Oh, does this apply to the shop or like the bazaar as well?
Oh yeah, I had mentioned it, but it should be visible in the shop as well. It's okay.
I had missed that while I was perusing chat. Oh, by the way, the answer to the question was yes.
Oh, we can?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have the specific details on that. I don't know if you do, but that could be a really good thing to talk about here as well.
Yeah. So additionally, starting from the 11th to the 21st of November. Let me just double check here. Yeah, 11th of November to the 21st of November, we'll be having a bonus XP event.
Right. So the XP doesn't really just apply to character XP. It's actually more about the battle pass itself. So any challenges you complete in that time will be giving more experience. I believe we're also increasing the base value of the challenges that you complete because by large right now, everyone is a little bit further behind than we thought they would be in terms of being able to complete the battle pass. So we want to speed it up so there's a little bit more catch up. And then going into the next battle pass as well, it'll be easier to complete than the battle pass is to complete right now because those base values will remain higher. So yeah, you'll see higher base values and higher multipliers.
That's good to know.
Presumably.
Presumably.
I'm trying to say how that's the plan right now, but
ideally that's that's how we envision it. That's actually really good to know. I wasn't super sure on like how like battle pass progression was kind of like looking like at large.
Yeah.
Like at a glance.
We're keeping track of everything. We're keeping track of, how far people are in Battle Pass, what kind of engagement people have with monetization and things like that, and making adjustments along the way, like I said we would. So it's one of those cases where, actions speak louder than words. So we have data that we can look at and know which adjustments will make more people happy, and we go in that direction to just try to make everyone have a better time.
Yeah, as it turns out, we try to make a game that people like.
Yeah.
Amazing. I know.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
I don't know if you want to mention, but also this update won't just have new stuff, or there'll be fixes and stuff involved.
Oh my God, there's like I think you said like there's like 800 lines of fixes in our like Excel sheet internally or something like that.
Yeah, so obviously there are patch notes on Test Live right now. It doesn't go into the nitty gritty on all the specific things that are fixed, but our patch notes are compiled from an Excel sheet that we dump all of our completed tasks into an Excel sheet and then go through them all line by line and compile the patch notes. Ignacy, thank you. That's what Ignacy does. And I think I looked at it this time, and there was something like 800 lines of completed tasks, which includes all the fixes we've done, everything. Almost all of them were verified to be fixed. So there is a big amount of stuff going into this update.
Sweet.
We don't have any. Sorry, I'm just going to answer one of the questions from chat. What about character transfers? Are you planning to return it? I don't have a timeline for character transfers right now. Just no new information is the current information I have. I know that there are a lot of people that want it, so it is on our radar. Absolutely.
Sweet. In addition, I would like to also highlight some of the other stuff that's going into the update that's not just fixes.
Please do.
Showing some of the other cool stuff off. So obviously, like the headhunting event and battle pass stuff isn't, or like the fact that there will be a battle pass isn't the only thing that we're adding with the update and of course like bug fixes and all that. There'll be a bunch of new like cosmetic options, building piece options, obviously like cosmetics, apart from the Mad Prophet gear. We have a couple here that I'd like to show you. One of the things that we'll be adding is a full-blown hedge maze set. So you can create your own, whatever you want to do. You can create your own crazy labyrinthine hedge maze. And there'll also, of course, be new placeables, new pets, including this beautiful Sphinx kitty and a few other placeables as well. There'll also be new Stormglass pieces that'll be cathedral themed. So this is an expansion of the existing Stormglass set, but there will be a whole bunch of new options such as that buttressing, as well as large doors,
That buttress though.
that buttress though.
What that buttress did.
So yeah, there'll be a whole new set of external and internal building pieces, as well as internal like accessories and decorations as well. We'll show some of the interior bits in just a moment here once this clip finishes. So here we have a character featuring the new interior bits. The pillars, of course, I think are new. Yep. They're 2x2.
Well, yeah, they're actually 1x1, but it takes
I'm
takes 4 grid spaces to create a pillar because you have to put a corner. They're all corners. So you put 4 corners together. There's a bottom, a middle, and a top piece. So you can make the pillars as tall as you want as well.
Cool.
The illusionist painting is really cool. The closer you get to it, the more corrupted the painting becomes. So as the camera zooms out, I guess we won't get to see it there.
Yeah, the shot that we had. Yeah, I knew that it like shifted between like corrupted and not corrupted. But yeah, the clip that we got was like just a really slow pan, and by the time like he got away from it, like you could barely see like the change. So, and I didn't have a chance to like do the shot that I wanted to do in game.
Does the maze shot also show the vines? I wonder.
Oh. No, but we do have a clip for that specifically. We'll show the maze again so you can see the kitties, and then we can, I don't know.
The hedge maze is awesome.
I'm really excited for it, yeah.
So the hedge pieces it's modular pieces, just like building pieces. They don't snap like building pieces. Last I used them, at least, they were just placeable, so you can make any shape you want. It's not confined to just squares and angles. Like you can make a curve of walls if you want to. There's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with the hedge maze.
And then, let's see, where is this? Yes. And then, of course, like themed around like our headhunting event, there'll be some new decorations where you can have some prisoners or some bounty posters and wall ivy at last. Yeah, finally. So you can actually now finally decorate the exteriors of your buildings with beautiful creeping vine that crawls up your walls. We also have a new
dog cage.
Yep, little house for your furry buddies.
There's a new dog in there as well.
A new doggo.
Medium themed dog in the medium.
I think we have a new Pictish themed outfit. I forget where you get that from, but yeah.
Yeah, it's I can't remember which one it's on either. All of the assets. You look at all this stuff, and there's so much stuff you have to make every 3 months. It blends together, and you forget which one's in which category. But those are the new armor sets between the Battle Pass and the Bazaar. And actually, at the very end of that video, there was a purple guy on the right side. That was the armor set we made for Met Camosis. We wanted to give him a little bit of an overhaul.
Oh, cool.
But there was also a tech issue that stopped us from putting things that we sell on the NPCs. So the armor set that was on the left in the end of that video is how the Conan Exiles were supposed to look. If you remember the tableau from from chapter 1, you see that armor set in the tableau. Actually,
I'm gonna pop these up onto the stream as well, just so folks.
Actually, that's the chapter 2 tableau. You guys haven't seen it yet. I lied.
Rip.
But whenever that pops up, you'll see these guys. They are representative of the people that are in game, but we didn't get to put that armor set on them in game for chapter 2. We are looking to fix that for chapter 3. So whenever we have a cool armor set we make for a character, we can also make it one that you are able to obtain and that we can use in game.
All right, let me see if I can get this going here. We're just gonna have that pop up. Why not?
Yeah. So that's the Conan Exiled armor. Because of the environment we're on, I can't spawn it on myself right now. But that's really what it looks like in game right there. Is really cool. There's a spear that goes with it as well that matches.
Oh, and it's gigantic, isn't it? Or it was?
It's not. It was at one point gigantic. It was like I was playing Dark Souls and I had a colossal weapon in my hand. The spear was like, 50% too big. It was really cool.
Yes. Here's another look at one of the other armor sets. I believe this is like a necromancer themed armor. That was also shown at the end slide there.
Yeah, and that's also shown in the scene where the character was walking into the cathedral. That was the same armor set.
And then a fun little addition. Wait, hold on. Where is it?
Hold.
I'm
holding.
Hold. Kitty.
Yeah. Another cool thing about the cats actually is that, not only can you get a cat in, I believe, the Battle Pass, it might be the Bazaar, don't quote me. We also added hairless cats in the world. So you can now pick up and tame normal hairless cats as a pet that sits around in your base.
You can find a little hairless kitten.
Yep.
Yay.
I think there's 3 colors.
Ooh, I'm excited.
There's like a buff one, a black one, and
Are you able to shout out any of these artists?
buff one?
No.
yeah, like tan.
Like wait, shout out
Buff
the
is like
artist.
tan, not muscly.
Oh, I thought we were talking just like a hairless Sphinx cat that's just like cock diesel, just like, yeah, let's go. On those Stygian roids. Nicole, sorry, what was the?
Sorry, I didn't know if we knew off the top of our head who the artists were for these. I don't know if asking. If we don't worry.
Oh, I actually don't know off the top of my head, because it's a big collaborative effort between like our studio here in NC as well as a number of couple concept artists over in Portugal. I think, there was one concept artist from our Portugal studio that did a ton of our sorcery concepts, at least for chapter 1. I can't remember off the top of my head for chapter 2 stuff. I know UI stuff is all done by, or a lot of that is done by like Andy Swart. Modeling, I mean, our art producers, Chris Hammond, Chris Devilar does a lot of the
He's our lead
like
3D
sculptor,
artist.
yeah, like modeling. So credit, of course, goes to our amazingly talented artists that are here. If I missed any of you, sorry. We can try to link them later if you'd like.
Cats for Christine and Bedborn.
Ah, yes.
Oh, Vebjorn. Ah, yes.
Vebjorn.
Quite the heavy hitter in our studio.
Yeah,
He's been
Vebjorn
around.
is a monster.
He's been around so long.
I'm sure he's watching right now, and I'll just take a moment to say, Vebjorn, you're amazing. You do so much awesome stuff, and like the shortest turnaround time too. It's so great.
Yeah, you put out a lot of stuff, and then also he plays a lot.
Yeah.
And so he always has like a ton of feedback to drop for us on Slack.
Yeah, and Vebjorn's been with us since Anarchy Online. He's been here longer than almost anybody.
Yeah, he did a bunch of monsters from like AO also, so he's been around.
If you ever see a monster that has a butthole,
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. Yeah, his signature thing is well detailed sphincters on our creatures. Anywho,
So transition from that.
what other stuff? And there'll be a whole bunch of other things to expect. Also, I guess we can talk about pet stuff too, because I know that was not expected, at least
pet
on
stuff.
my end. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of was just a thing we stumbled into that snowballed. But essentially, we got people reporting, that like the cat pounce damage is insane now, things like that. So we looked into it to figure out exactly what was happening. And when we looked at our data in the back end, there were a lot of followers that you could tame that were made with NPC attacks instead of pet attacks. So basically, they were doing the kind of damage that NPCs were supposed to do baseline, and then scaling up like 20 levels with that. So yeah, you'll find that the pet followers are probably a bit nerfed in most or all cases, whenever they're pets that were very strong to begin with. However, the reason we did this is not just to make them worthless. It's so now whenever we, want to actually tune them up and make them a little bit closer to what a normal thrall would be, we turn basically one knob instead of having to go through and find all these edge cases and find out exactly why some things are broken, some things aren't. So yeah, I think that in this update, you'll find that some cats or some pets, not just cats specifically, but some pets are doing a lot less damage than they did previously. I think that by large,
Some have increased. Some had their like damage output increased as well. Like
Yeah.
gorillas and scorpions enjoyed quite a big boost, for example.
gorillas were very bad. So we made the gorillas better as well. But what we'd like to do is get more feedback on it going forward. And, after you've experienced it, see what it's like, tell us more about what you think, and we'll turn some knobs a little more. And, they're never, ever going to be a thrall. Like, they're never meant to be as good as a human follower that you've converted and equipped out with armor. But they're meant to be a trade-off. They're easier to get, they're easy to tame. And, we may be able to do some things like exploring, making them level faster or something like that. Give you more of a trade-off, kind of like we did with like the undead followers with necromancy.
Yeah.
They're not as good as if you had a full-on human that would last forever, but it's a quick means to an end, just to be able to have something to fight with you.
Yeah, and again, it's important to also keep in mind that like I know the word nerf is very spooky, but also like this is intended to be kind of like a phase 0 of like a larger, like
It's the baseline.
Yeah, like a larger, like it's laying the groundwork for being able to more effectively balance pet followers, right? Because like
Precisely.
if they're not working properly, then it becomes a lot harder to balance as a result. And so like now that pets have had their like kind of their underlying stuff fixed, it's going to be a lot easier for us to actually like boost them if they need to be to where we want them to be. Kind of like how we had with like human followers. Also, like there was a lot of like overall we reduced their power, but like there's some trade-offs, and we're still working on some other stuff that will also tie into or like handshake with some of the changes we made to thralls and human followers as well.
Yeah, there's another. I know that some people still experience loss with their human followers as well after the last nerf we did. I think there's still a little massaging to do there, obviously. And on top of that, there's actually a full other system I think I've mentioned on stream before.
Yeah.
That's going to be coming later down the line to help reduce that loss you experience as well.
Yeah, still something we're working on. Won't make it for the launch of Chapter 2, but something we're very well aware of. Yeah.
I don't know if it makes anyone feel better or not in any way, but I do play Exiles. Like I am an Exiles player, and I know what it's like to lose things, and I know how much time you lose when something important dies or is destroyed. So, we want to reduce that while at the same time not making the game in such a way that you keep everything you ever have. There's a balance to strike.
Things to look forward to.
I've actually seen a lot of people ask about new spells. We're not currently planning to add new spells immediately. However, the spell system is something that we want to have in our pocket. That's like when we introduce new features, we can add spells that have interplay with those as well. So I don't think that you definitely won't see a new spell in Chapter 2. I don't believe you will see one in Chapter 3. But whenever we start Age 2, it is highly probable there will be new spells included in the second age, which will not be specifically sorcery themed. So it's not like we're just adding spells for sorcery, but it's another. I always refer to it as tools in our toolbox. It's more things that we can give you guys to play with.
Sorry, I had someone in chat also asking about one other armor set that we hadn't shown off yet. And it looks like we have another question from chat really fast, too. Yeah. We know.
Yeah, so I actually touched on it earlier, but it was probably an indirect answer, so people might not have seen. Ooh.
This is the Acheronian Illusionist set, which will also be available in the Battle Pass, I believe. Someone was saying, like, oh, is that a cat ear armor?
Yeah, it's actually a fox. Yeah. This one, you can't see it here, but maybe in the video shot you could see it, but it has a fox face on the front and one on the back as well, to kind of create this illusion of not knowing if the character's coming or going.
That's cool, actually. No, that wouldn't be in the video, but that is very cool to know.
Yeah, but circling back, people asking about bizarre prices. Yeah. So I mentioned it earlier, and we have data on what people are engaging with, what they're not. Like I said earlier, actions speak louder than words, and those actions are empirical. We can look at them and see what you don't like, what you're willing to do, what you're not, and we will see adjustments to things coming in the second chapter. And it's another one of those things that it's kind of like pet balancing, where we just have to evolve it over time. Make a change, see how it reacts, make a change, see how it reacts. I think that by large, you will probably see those updates like per chapter. So if there's something that you don't like in one chapter going to the next, that's the chance to see some difference, I would say. But like whenever a chapter comes out, that's like our best guess for that chapter. And I think for the most part, it will stay intact. I don't want to be 100% like that's the way it is, because anything at any time in game development can be changed. It's just a matter of circumstances, really.
So yeah, to kind of summarize, yeah, like it's an iterative process, much like everything. We're not going to nail it on the first try, but we're going to continue like evolving it and updating it and iterating as Exiles continues to grow and mature, and as our like move into like a proper like live service kind of format for Exiles continues to go forward as well.
Is that that's later?
I believe that is later. I don't have.
Okay, we won't talk about
detail.
that.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head if we have any info about that. Yeah, I don't have anything off the top of my head for that.
We don't currently have plans to support cross-purchase between platforms. I actually touched on this in another live stream, but if you weren't there for it, we thought it was more important for people to not have to go in and create accounts and sign up for things, to just make it as easy as possible for you to be able to get into the game and start interacting with it, start being able to, do the battle pass or whatever without having to literally log in and create an account first. Than it was to have that cross-platform purchase support. We think that by large, there are not a lot of players playing on multiple platforms. It's hard to tell, but that's the thing that we can explore down the line, because it's not impossible. It's just not a thing that we're set up for right now.
Gotcha.
Performance optimization when? Literally always.
Always. Sorry, and then before we jump into more questions from chat, I do actually want to also introduce like eradication, and then we can move into more like proper like Q&A stuff. Yeah, I know. You're being so good and like engaging with chat and answering all their questions. We'll get to that in just a second, but we have some other questions also that.
I need some headphones now, right?
Oh yes, yeah. So yeah, we'll be donning our headphones. So
oops, geez, Andy. Let me just reach down here and get these.
Yeah, sorry. Oh god.
Oh, feedback.
Oh no. Did you hear that? Oh god. Wait, why is that?
The gain.
Is it? Oh.
You had to turn the gain up for people to hear us? Yeah. Beep, boop, beep, boop.
Okay. I don't think that came through the stream. I think that was just on.
Some people said
They probably heard it through my
the microphone.
Mic. Yeah, because I had it right here.
Was it like really loud, or was it like just through the microphone? Sorry about that.
Turn it up again.
No one's screaming, so.
Yeah, okay. No, yeah, there's no caps, like no spam in chat. Was it really that bad?
It was a bit oof, says Jordy.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry,
well,
guys.
To be fair, yeah, the headphones were literally like right against my mic, so sorry.
Okay. Hopefully this works. We love this. Okay. So we are joined remotely from our friend Eradication. Yeah, thanks for joining us. I'm just gonna have like my stuff up there. Hey, bud. Doing well. Let's see. Let's make sure we can actually. I'm gonna turn some of these things off. All right, Eradication, are you with us?
Are you able to bump up the volume? People can't hear.
Sorry, Nicole, what was that?
Can you bump up the volume? People can't really hear y'all.
Of us? Oh, okay. Well, I'm putting gain back up to maximum then.
I have no eradication in my ears. Maybe
You don't have Eradication in your ears?
No. You want me to bounce for a minute?
No Eradication. I mean, I guess it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I can repeat what he's saying.
I can read chat.
It's good
I can
now.
type in chat.
That's true. I mean, I have the questions like up on this like thingy also. In any case, hello Eradication. Thanks for joining us. So can folks on chat also hear him? Because we have him on Discord. You don't hear Eradication. Eradication, can you chat really quick? One more time.
Hello, hello.
I think that came through.
Waiting.
Oh my god.
Oh, they can hear him now.
There we go.
I'm saying you can't.
They can hear him
there.
now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe
Great.
I can hear him now too.
Yeah, they said they can.
Awesome.
Great. Hello and greetings. So thank you for joining us. This fine, I guess, evening for you because you're in the UK.
Yeah, it's turning towards the evening. It's already dark.
Yeah, it's going to be dark here in just a few hours also because of daylight savings. In any case, yeah, thanks for taking the time to join us today. Just before we jump into things, would you be able to just like kind of like let folks here in chat know like who you are, what you do, what kind of like content you create, and say hello?
Yeah, sure. My name's Eradication. I make Conan Exiles content over on YouTube. I mainly focus on building for PV and roleplay players, but I do also cover Conan updates, news, guides, and I also make in-depth lore videos as well. And also, I really want to say thank you to Funcom for having me on. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I'm sure
fact.
With the sorry.
True fact.
True fact, yes. And so I'm sure with some of these like lore tidbits that we're dropping here in the stream and with the chapter, I'm sure you're very excited to kind of dig into that some more,
Very
right?
excited.
Yeah. And we have Eradication's YouTube channel up on the stream as well. So like, if you want like to go on a deep dive of like Exiles lore or any of that, be sure to check out his channel. Go like and subscribe to stuff. Great content creator. Check out his channel. It's good shit. So going into today, actually, like we had a chance to like, kind of sit down for a brief moment, and I believe you also had some questions yourself that you wanted to ask. This might mirror some of the like questions that we might get from the community, but we wanted an opportunity to give the floor to you if you wanted to ask any questions or anything else that you wanted to bring up. So, floor is yours.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I certainly do have a few questions.
Yeah.
Firstly, the Headhunter event, the Mad Prophet set. Assuming that is rolled out of the reward table at the end of Chapter 2, will that be coming back similar to the events from Grave Matters?
Right. Are you able to hear?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think that we will. What I like to do or have done so far is take the things that we make, like the a good example is the sorcerer armor. Why is it
The Mad Prophet or the Skelos armor?
the Skelos armor sets? Yeah, I like to take them and inject them somewhere else in content after the temporary content's gone. So probably what you'll find is just an alternative route or way to learn this armor set. You know, like maybe it gets added to the library of esoteric artifacts or something like that.
Gotcha. Cool.
But yeah, even after the content is gone, we'd like to keep a way for you to be able to get the set still.
Cool. So it won't go away forever, even after the actual like event stuff is done. Or that's the intent. TBD on how it will actually be like obtainable after the event, but that's the intent.
Awesome. So staying on the topic of the Headhunters, I'm assuming there is no daily limit on it, so you can just infinitely complete them as much as you want.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, you know,
Awesome.
it's not tied into monetization in any way, so there's really no limit to it. If you can even just spawn, like I did on stream, I just spawned the skulls in my inventory and put them on there. You know, it's there for you to engage with. It's there for you to play with. Have fun.
Sweet.
Very nice. So you mentioned the witch hunts as well, which look really cool. The question I have is, are they all around sort of the same difficulty mark, or are some intended to be more challenging?
They're all, I would say they're all roughly around the same. We try to follow a paradigm that the further north you go on the map, the more difficult it gets. And for the most part, you'll find these sorcerers in the difficult areas in exiled lands. And in Isle of Sipta, it's a bit of a mixed bag because we didn't have the same kind of rules to follow as far as geography equals difficulty kind of thing. But yeah, I think that one thing that's interesting that you'll see, and I've seen this as a point of feedback, but it's really the way it's meant to be, is that people say it's harder to fight the trash than it is to fight the sorcerer themselves. But it's really by design. Sorcerers themselves are mentally, high in fortitude and power, but physically they're very frail. They're not the kind of barbaric warriors that your character plays out to be. And even in the corruption system that we added for perks, we let you do that to your character. We let you make yourself weaker by body to have a stronger mind. So yeah, they will have about the same difficulty. I wouldn't expect them to be extremely difficult by any means. So probably if you're like somewhere around, probably just anything slightly above iron, iron tools and stuff. If you're a good player, you'll be able to take them down, iron weapons. You'll be able to take them down. It'll take some work and you'll need a follower, but beyond that, it just becomes easier, really.
Awesome. So obviously you've mentioned a lot about the story with the battle pass, and I think from my perspective anyway, the jump in how present the story is from chapter 1 to chapter 2 is pretty obvious. Is this something that's going to continue with a more like clear forefront? Because if it is, I'm all here for it.
Yeah, certainly. We have a lot of other contemporaries to model ourselves after. At this point, there's a lot of people that are putting in, updates, and even Funcom themselves have done it in the past with our MMOs. So in the first chapter, we were a bit hamstrung on time because of we basically shifted all of our work load to sorcery itself. That was where most of the work went in. So we didn't have as much ability to put as much stuff in for the story in chapter 1. And that's why you kind of see it being told in the background. So yeah, chapter 2, you'll start to see more stuff. In chapter 3, we always want it to be an escalation. So chapter 1 will probably start out on the, I don't want to say more boring side, but like the less visually impactful side.
It just sets the stage.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exposition, right? It's telling you what's happening.
Yeah.
And we're essentially telling a story in 3 acts here, right? So each one will escalate to a point of basically a breaking point where in the 3rd chapter, you can almost always expect something mad to be happening.
That is very exciting. Chapter 2 is even out. I'm already waiting for chapter 3.
Well, yeah. I've been working on chapter 3 for like 6 months already, or more, maybe even.
Ooh.
So my timeline's skewed from everyone else's.
Well, plus like this kind of stuff has to get worked out like well in advance too. It's not like just slap together a script 3 days before launch. All good, it's fine. We don't need localization.
And
it's all
get in the VO booth.
Oh yeah, yes, gladly. Finally, my time.
So sticking to the theme of the story events again, with obviously the escalation, has the dev team considered maybe new PvE dungeons tied into the story? I think that would mainly, come in around the end of a story age, for example, but I think a new story-based PvE dungeon could be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing that we've thought about because I don't think it's any kind of... I don't think there's any reason I couldn't say this or not, but we released the immersive survey probably about a year and a half ago at this point, a year and a half ago. And a lot of the takeaway we got from it is, one of the big things is that people really like dungeons. For as many people did the survey, almost everybody liked dungeons and some other activity primarily. So dungeons are really high on our radar in terms of engaging experiences we can create. They are also very expensive to make is the other side of it. So I actually think that if you see a dungeon come in, it may often even happen in the beginning of an age, because it would have to be something that we're working on while another age is in progress. But yeah, dungeons definitely on our radar. When I joined the team, I think I've mentioned this as well, either on the forums or on a stream, I can't remember. But when I joined the team, they told us we can't expand into the other corner of the map because there's a bunch of dungeons up there. I looked into it myself. There's not a bunch of dungeons up there. So we might have some more real estate to work with at some point in the future. Again, tentatively. Could happen, might not. I just think that by large, in the exiled lands, there is more room to add more stuff. there's a lot of factors that go into it. One of the biggest ones is actually consoles. We have to manage the memory that we have on consoles a lot more than we do on PC. So we have to pick and choose exactly what we put in.
Yeah, we have really limited real estate on consoles.
Right. And that's another thing we're always working to optimize as well. I know that a lot of people probably showed up today wondering what kind of news we had as far as consoles would go.
Yes, a lot of questions about like PlayStation stuff also.
Yeah, there's still there's performance issues happening there, still some invisible things happening. We are still looking into it, and most often it boils down to that memory restriction that we have, and we can only move so much stuff at once. So we're, like I said earlier, we are always in a state of optimizing things. We get the reports in that you guys have. We're literally always working on them, and then we're always working against them at the same time, putting months of battle pass content and shop content in at the same time. So it's a little bit of a tug of war of sorts.
Sorry, my expression is breaking a little bit. Nicole's being very funny behind the camera.
Sorry.
So outside of the story events, the Stormglass Cathedral set looks amazing. Obviously, the last edition was the Arcane set, which augmented sandstone, stone brick, and reinforced stone. Is that something that you're trying to do going forward, where you augment existing sets, or is it just as and where it fits in?
Yeah, it's kind of a it's going to be both. Like I expect that we'll see new things, and we'll see augmentations to existing ones, because we already have a really wide breadth of available themes for building sets, and we know there's a lot more things that we can do within those building sets, and that's why you see the things like the narrow stairs and just the new pieces that we add in, the cathedral pieces. It's also a bit of, in a way, a time saver for us, because we don't have to concept what is Stormglass to begin with. We already have a baseline for that. So getting new pieces into production for existing sets is a bit faster. But I think that you should expect to see a mix of both going forward, where we will at some points see new building sets and some points see additions to others. The cathedral set specifically was one I was really excited about too, because I was like, we're gonna theme all these pieces off these different, these architectural things. And I was like, that's cathedral pieces. This is Stormglass at the cathedral.
Yeah.
It fits in perfect with the Gothic vibe of it. And I just think they look great. I wish that we had a building shown that we could run around in today because of how cool it looks.
Oh, yeah.
You guys can you'll see soon enough. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I probably could have grabbed something from
it's okay.
game DB from marketing.
There's some in the videos that we showed. It's
you'll just have to make your own.
yeah.
Okay, I think so. Eradication. I think we have time for one more, and then we're probably just going to be finishing up from here.
Yeah. Well, I've got one more for the lore nerd in me.
Yeah, go for it.
So, without going too specific for anyone that doesn't know, there is a bit of story-related cut content from the story that I think is really interesting that involves a certain sorcerer. Assuming that content won't be used as is, will that content be used to inform or maybe even inspire story beats in the future?
Are you talking about who I think you're talking about?
You move the mouse, people are getting dizzy.
I could be. A certain ring.
You move the mouse, people are getting dizzy.
Oh. Sorry, guys. That character will see progression in the future. Right now, everything in Exiled Lands is very static and has been very static for a long time, because we haven't really put the resources into telling the story and moving it forward. I have plans for everyone involved in the current storyline to not end up the way that they currently are.
That's very exciting.
That's fun. Not the way they currently are. You mean in terms of
Puts me on edge slightly.
Yeah, or are they just going to get turned into a pile of mush?
Speculate.
Hooray!
Slightly excited, slightly scared, I'll be honest.
No, it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited.
Hell yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Us too. Okay, well, Eradication, thank you so much for joining us. I think we've answered plenty of questions
Yes, everyone after the stream, go watch Eradication's Kinscourge video.
Yes.
It sets the bar really high, but it's a really cool video.
Yeah, go watch that. Go make sure. I think we linked it in chat as well. Make sure to go check out the channel, like and subscribe. Check out those the building videos and the lore videos. And then yeah, obviously like we look forward to seeing more from you as well, Eradication.
Definitely.
Oh, there's plenty more coming. Thank you very much for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. Thanks again for taking time this evening to just join us and just like hang out and ask some questions. So
Anytime.
yeah, man. All right. Well, I bid you adieu, Eradication. Gonna be closing this up really quick. Okay. So, oop.
That was me. Headphones off.
Sorry, yeah. So I think that about wraps it up for today's stream. I think we got a chance to answer a bunch of questions in chat. I hopefully there were a bunch of burning questions. I know there's several questions in chat that we haven't had a chance to get to, but we have covered a couple of those things. If you want to answer a couple more questions, go ahead. Otherwise, we're probably going to be finishing up shortly so we can let you all go play on Test Live and let us know what you think.
Do you have any queued up, Nicole?
Most of them you already answered, so nothing in particular. You can just take them from chat if you want.
Yeah, I mean, one that I see repeated a few times is talking about like adding a new dungeon to to have sorcery incorporated, and I think we would love to, but
Yeah, it'll have to be a right time and right place kind of thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, like sorcery as it exists now, we've put out what we can revolving around sorcery for the timeline that we had. So it will have to be something that works its way into basically into the story somehow, I think.
yeah.
It-
Yes.
Redoing if like challenges will be not fixed but kind of redone, changes to the challenge system. So like at level 60, I can be able to like farm stone, like kind of more.
Oh.
Yeah, we won't see that come in chapter 2, but that's a thing
I don't know if you
that
want to repeat my question to you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, like, the question was like, are there plans in the future to like have challenges kind of be more like consummate to like the player level? So, for example, a max level player isn't being asked to farm like basic resources, for example, for a challenge.
Well, I think that
Is that the question? Did I misinterpret the question? Is that okay?
okay, I thought you were asking a different question, which is if I reach level 60, why would I do challenges?
No.
That's a question we do want to address, but it won't happen in chapter 2. And as far as the specific challenges that you get, we can actually update these ones live. We don't even need to patch to update them.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But basically, we can change the criteria for specific events or challenges, excuse me. And there will be some updates to those in chapter 2, where first of all, whenever you log into a chapter for the first time, you will get a specific set of challenges that we've said, for your character of this level range, these are the challenges you should be doing. And then after that, we want to update the criteria for them better to make it so you're not doing things that don't make sense. Like a level 10 character shouldn't log in and get a challenge to mine black ice, for example, right? So for the most part, we're most fixated on it in that direction, where we don't want to ask low-level characters to do something they can't do. It's more okay for us to ask high-level characters to do something that feels tedious, but we still want to reduce that as well.
Lots of questions on being able to dye your saddles.
There's not a plan for that at the moment.
Dyeing saddles. Sorry, repeating question.
I saw. I saw a whole bunch. Chat just blew up with
dye
like,
saddles.
let us dye saddles.
Yeah. Yellow Lotus Potion we have looked into, and there will be probably changes to the Yellow Lotus Potion itself coming soon, but it won't be immediately with chapter 2, excuse me. I don't think that anyone, as far as I know, you shouldn't lose the sorcery feats from using the Yellow Lotus Potion in this update, but it's a thing I'll have to follow up on and make sure that actually got panned out. That has a whole history behind it, unfortunately. Dyeable shield, sorry, not dyeable shields. Dyeable saddles is a thing that we have to pre-plan, I think, when we're making saddles. So we make the materials in such a way that we can pick things that you can change. So we might be able to go backwards with some of those and make things dyeable, but sometimes you'll see armor sets that don't dye quite the way you expect them to, and it's because they weren't planned to accept dyes in the first place. The material is not engineered to accept them very well. The Acheronian Legate Primus armor.
Was that the armor set that, like we said, was craftable and turned out not to be craftable or
Yes,
something?
it was intended to be shipped as part of learning sorcery. So whenever you like get the book from Kurok and everything, you can make that armor immediately. That armor will become available. I can't remember exactly what I decided to do with it. There may be another system coming down the road that it's been included as a reward for, so I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but that is on my radar, is the most important thing, I guess I would say. I want a beard like Andy. Unlikely. Good luck.
Damn.
This thing is a blessing and a curse, let me tell you. Oh yeah, okay. Dying Saddles would be a lot of rework. Not impossible, but would be a lot of work because those items were not actually originally created to accept dyes,
exactly.
as you said,
Snake pets.
Snake pets. So the hard part about snake pets is it's easy to make a snake pet that follows you and doesn't fight in combat. That's fine. We can make that happen. Having them be a snake that does engage in combat is more difficult because hitting a snake is very hard. You have to look down to hit a snake, and it might result in some unfavorable gameplay, but it's a thing we can try out for sure, especially with a lot of setites and everything. It makes sense for people to have snake pets.
I think we have time for just like a couple more, and then we're probably to get going for the day. But yeah, we're just going over some chat stuff real quick. What about big snakes? Yeah, can we just tame like a set size?
That's
snake?
what it would have to be. It would have to be a big snake, like the snake called Caravan Snake.
Hell yeah.
That pulls the wagon.
Hell yeah.
Caravan snake.
Give me the large danger noodle. I'll name him George.
Character generation improvements is an interesting one. It's another thing that would require a lot of work for us to go back and fix, but it's definitely a thing that I think has a lot of value to us, like being able to add new haircuts and makeup and head shapes or whatever to character creation. One of the biggest reasons we don't do that right now is because it will break a lot of mods if we change that.
Right,
There's some work that needs to go in on the technical side to allow anyone to be able to add stuff to it.
Gotcha. And then, so yeah, I saw a couple questions for, I missed the name, but Anna, sorry, I'm terribly sorry I missed your name, but Anna was asking if there's going to be a back button on the sorcery staff. You can already cancel your current cast with the heavy attack, I think, or the
it's a full cancel though.
You can't go back a step yet,
right. There's no option to go back, and actually in this update, you guys will, I think in this update.
And Brielle, yes, thank you.
In this update, you guys will hear the new words of power.
Sorry, you're like, I saw the question and then the name scrolled up off the screen off of this side here, so I only caught I saw the verified mark and then I saw Anna B, but I didn't want to say the whole thing. Sorry, Anna Briella. But yes, thank you for the question.
So one thing that's in this, I think it's in this update, is the new voices for the words of power. One of the things that we didn't get whenever we shipped sorcery was the final VO for the words themselves. So knowing why there's not a back button plays into the actual the thematics of sorcery, which is that you are speaking a word and performing magic. The power comes from the words that you're speaking. So if we let you kind of go back, it would be like saying, I want to find, but then you would be kind of like not saying something coherent.
Oh yeah, I guess it's like, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, so you're the full phrase is where the power comes from. Not like you can't just like.
Yeah. Why can I not?
What is that? What is that? Some like Evil Dead style? Like wait. Trying to go back on your on the incantation to summon things, and then we should add that. But then if you go back, it just has a chance to totally screw up the spell.
Yeah.
You just immediately transported into the Evil Dead universe. Sam Raimi, please don't sue us.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can hear these okay. Bat time.
Bat.
Bat time.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's new male and female voices, and really, whenever you're speaking the words of power, the runes are like a syllable or a vowel, or a fragment of a word, and when you choose it, you say the word out loud, and then it forms the full word at the end.
This is bad country.
We're in bad country.
So there's new male and female voices for that.
Sweet.
Oh, actually, I'm not sure if it's there, but we're actually making casting happen a bit faster as well.
Oh, good.
I think that's in these patch notes. Essentially, you don't have to wait for the rune to fill out before you can pick it anymore. So it's going to really reduce the amount of time it takes to cast a higher tier spell. I think it changes from like 12 seconds to 8 seconds or something like
That's
that.
big, actually.
It's still a
Yeah,
significant amount of time, but it's not as long as it was before.
So you're not just stuck there like stun locked waiting for like the rock to form.
So here you can see I'm able to click it before the rune even appears.
Boy, get your APM up. Fastest lightning storm in the New West. And yeah, like you said, it does Google TK. It does reward like memorization and knowledge of like which path to go.
Yeah, I just tested it.
Okay.
Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet. Thanks,
Someone asked, "Will my Crom coins automatically become obelisks? Or do I have to spend them in time before the new update?" These are two separate things entirely. Crom coins do not become ancient obelisks. Ancient obelisks are just a currency that you get for completing an activity in the game. There's no connection. It's not a paid currency or anything. Here's some ancient obelisks in game. And eradication, if you can figure out who's depicted on this coin, that could be the basis for an entire video for you potentially. So good luck, bud.
Hopefully he heard that. I have the call muted right now. Sorry.
Yep.
And yeah, with just to emphasize.
People asked about regional pricing as well. That's a thing we're working on. I don't have a really specific update for it. I don't even know if I'm really supposed to say that we're working on it, but we are.
It's a complaint that we're like pretty aware of, but we don't really have any like other comment to like offer. But it's something we're very aware of and are like looking into our options. But money stuff is always a little tricky. So, but yeah, we hear you.
We are aware of the bug that you can place armor and weapons on zombies. I believe that is fixed in Chapter 2. I think that it was meant to go in Chapter 3, and I asked for it to be cherry-picked into Chapter 2. So even if it's not in the first update of Chapter 2, it'll come really soon after.
Yeah, we're just laughing at chat right now.
Yeah, Eradication says he's already got 17 Google tabs.
That's perfect. Excellent. All right, friends. Well, it is 12:30 here. We've had a little under an hour and a half because of some of the technical issues that we had earlier today. I know I saw one person in chat. I feel really bad because they were in the last stream, and then because we went live again, and that created another stream instance, and so they were in the last one that we were in, I guess, or something like that. And they were saying that they were waiting in a different stream and missed most of this stream, or something like that. I don't know exactly.
They didn't refresh after we came back.
Yeah, sorry about that. But the VOD will be available. You can watch it. Sorry. In any case, thank you so much for tuning in today. Big thanks to Eradication for popping by. Big thanks to Nicole for being on the decks in the back there.
Our support team in chat.
Yes, yeah. Thank you, support friends. I saw a bunch of folks in chat, just kind of like holding down the fort. Thank you, Nicole. Okay, so housekeeping stuff. Yeah, Chapter 2 stuff is on Test Live right now. Chapter 2 will begin on December 6th. We will have a bonus XP event that will also grant you additional Battle Pass XP starting the 11th of November, which is just 3 days from now, and it will run to the 21st of November. Is there anything else I'm missing? That's all I can think of.
I don't know. Maybe you should watch the VOD.
I should watch the VOD, you're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I never do. You should disregard everything I say.
Yikes.
Yikes. Anyway, thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have an excellent day. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.